Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. So today I'm back with another card, which is a fun fold card using products from Alina Craft. I've got this gorgeous honeyflower paper pad, and then I've got this really fun die from Alina's shop that creates a Z-fold card. So today I'm going to show you how to use it, and it's got some beautiful stitching on one side of the oval, and it pairs perfectly with these nested oval dies that are also from Alina's shop. So you've got these kind of fancy frames and then some solid frames as well. So first of all, you're going to need to die cut the Z-fold die twice, and it cuts out these two pieces. You can see the score lines faintly on the cardstock there, but I'm going to bring in my scoreboard and I'm just going to go over those score lines again using my score tool. So I'm just lining up those score lines with a track on my scoreboard and then just running the score tool down those lines. I just really need those to be crisp because it's going to, the card is basically like a mechanism card, so you need those score lines to really fold well so that the card opens and closes really nicely. So next you want to pinch those center score lines together at the back so that you get a valley fold, and you want to make sure it lines up really nicely top and bottom, and then you're going to use your score tool just to burnish those score lines, and you end up with that lovely folded piece. So I'm just going to do that for the other piece as well. Make sure that they all line up nicely and then just burnish that. So then we've got two of these pieces. Now, to join them in the center, you can overlap them as I'm showing here, and you can just pop some glue on them, find the center point to fold it. But I found it really easy to just create a piece of card to just attach them to. I found it folded a lot nicer when using the mechanism die. So this is just a piece of cardstock that measures 1.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 3/4, so straight down the middle. And I'm just going to add some quick grab glue, and I'm just going to attach one of those panels to that piece there. And then we're going to do exactly the same with the other half. Just add some glue and adhere that down to it. So you want to make sure that the panel is directly up to the score line, and I'm just using my score tool just to burnish that down and make sure that the card's got good contact with the glue. And that's the finished kind of layout of the card. It's a really pretty design. It stands up beautifully on its own, but in today's video I'm going to show you how to hold that, how you can conceal that mechanism within a card, and also we're going to go and decorate it as well. So I've gone ahead and die cut 4 solid ovals and 4 ovals from the decorative die, and these are from the pattern paper, and I'm just going to add some glue to the backs of those and mat and layer those together, and then we're going to go back in and add some glue and attach them directly to the card base. You want to make sure that the ovals are not attached to the mechanism and that it still folds okay. And then once we've done that, I'm going to bring in a card blank. This is a 6x6 shop bought card blank. And in order to attach this to the card blank, I've gone ahead and cut 2 pieces of cardstock. These measure 1.5 by 1 inch, and I've got 2 of them, and I've scored down the center. Any size would be fine for this. All these are to attach it to the card blank. So then you want to add some quick grab glue to 1/2 of that cardstock, and we're going to have it so that the cardstock that you've put glue on attaches firmly to the card base, but the flap is in the center of the score line. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So both of the flaps will join, basically they'll look like they join together in the center, but then we're going to fold those flat and attach them to the card base, which you'll see in a moment. So once those are stuck down, you're going to fold the flaps outwards, and then you want the center score line of the coloured panel to line up with the center score line on the white card blank, and then you'll have a flap either side as so. And then we're going to add some quick grab glue to the flap and then attach that to the card blank. And we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So fold the whole mechanism over, or the whole decorative part over, and then we'll add glue to the other side. You can use your score tool just to make sure that you've got a really good contact with the glue and the center of the card, and just to make sure that those score lines are matching up. And then we'll just do the same on the other side, and then this will hold this decorative piece in the center of the card blank. So next I'm going to add some more decoration to the center of that card. So we're going to fold both of those flaps inwards, And then I've partially die cut 2 more pieces from the pattern paper using the die, and I'm just going to attach these down. Again, you want to make sure that you don't get any glue near the moving parts, so I'm just carefully adding some quick grab glue to the cardstock. I choose to attach the flaps down first and then attach the middle down, but it was a lot easier just to add glue to the whole decorative piece and then stick it down, and just make sure that you've got some really good movement still in the moving parts of the card. So I'm doing the same again on the other side. I'm just adding some glue, and then I'm going to stick that panel down. And so that way it just adds a little bit more detail to the centre of the card when it's closed and when somebody opens it for the first time. So you've got like these 2 flaps. Next, I'm going to decorate the outside of the card blank. So I've got a piece of gold cardstock, which is 5.5 squared, and then I've got a piece of the decorative cardstock, which is also 5.25 squared, and I'm just going to attach those down to the front. I also choose to add some ribbon so that we've got a bit of a closure, and I'm just going to use some some double-sided tape to just hold that in place while I then add the decorative piece with glue over the top. On the back of the card, I'm just adding some gold cardstock, again 5.5 inches squared. I'm adding another piece of the double-sided tape so that I can attach another piece of ribbon, and then I'm attaching a blank piece of white cardstock that's 5.25 squared so that we've got somewhere to write our message on this card. So I've got this honey pot die set from Alina Crafts, and I've got this gorgeous bee stamp from Woodware, and I'm going to use these to just decorate the front and the inside of the card. So I've already gone ahead and die cut those elements, and I'm just going to attach those down to the front of the card now. Of course, anything that you've already got in your stash would work for this, but I really like this honey pot. And on my Instagram page, I've got another card that I've made using this die set, but where I've just used the honey pot as a vase for some flowers. So there's always other ways that you can use these dies that you've got in your stash. For the bumblebee stamp, I'm just going to stamp it out using some VersaFine Onyx Black ink. I've got an All & Create acrylic block, which is an A7 size, and I'm just inking the bee up now and stamping him out as well. I'm not too worried about the trail because we're going to be fussy cutting these images out, so it doesn't matter that I'm stamping off the cardstock. We're not going to need that element. So I'm going to now bring in my watercolour set. This is the Winsor & Newton Cotman Pan set, and I've got a Princeton round size 4 watercolour brush, and I'm just going to quickly use this to add some colour to the stamped image. I'm really not a watercolour expert at all. I just enjoy being able to get colour on the page really fast. So there's lots of ways that you colour these bees in and take your time. But for me, I just want to get the colour down and carry on. So as you can see, it's quite easy just to add a little bit of colour quickly to those images. So I'm using my cutter bee scissors now, and I'm just going to fussy cut those images out. They really don't take too long to cut out, and I'm just going to cut off the trail because we're not going to need that. And this is the great thing when you're fussy cutting, you can pick and choose which bits of the stamp you want to keep on, and which bits you can afford to lose depending on what you're doing. So I'm going to cut down the sentiment as well, be happy, and then I've fussy cut the other bumblebee out off camera, and I'm just going to lay these out on the inner part of the card so that it's a little bit more decorative when the card's opened. So yeah, you could go ahead and decorate this in so many different ways, but today I just really wanted to keep it nice and simple, just to show off what the die can do and also how easy it is to decorate it, especially if you've got some really nice pattern papers and perhaps a coordinating stamp set. So yeah, you can definitely use whatever you've already got in your stash in order to decorate this. So as you can see, it folds together really nicely, and then it stands up really nicely as well in that card blank. Of course, you could decorate the inner panels of that as well if you wanted to. Then those two parts fold together, and then you can fold the card shut and tie it up with the ribbon. You've got plenty of space on the back there to write your message, and some nice decoration on the front of the card as well. So yeah, I just thought it was a really fun way to use this die set. So let me know in the comments below if you like making fun fold cards, what you think to this card style, and if you give it a go. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more from my channel. Take care.